up, guys? It is me, your girl Shant'e, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome to the channel. If you are new, scratch that, welcome back. So by the title, I know everybody's been wondering this. How did I get pregnant? Obviously, everybody know how you get pregnant, but everybody wants to know the story time of how I met my child's father, who my child's father is, what's going on, what's good, what's cracking. So why not just give you guys what it is, because I'm just that transparent. So I'm not gonna give y'all his name and stuff. Just know that he's a senior and Junior's a junior. Okay, so I met him, I want to say 2 years ago now. Yeah, because Junior's one. I met him 2 years ago. So at the time, I had just got done messing with somebody, and I think he had just got done messing with somebody. So we were kind of like in that whole, it was really in our healing process, and we should have waited. Like, but anyway. So at the time, I was working security, and he was a manager at a store in the complex that I was doing security for. So backstory, what I didn't know is that my child's father always had a crush on me, and I didn't know that. I didn't even know who he was. We have a mutual friend, and I'm gonna name him Tree since it's a tree in the background. So he was telling me, well, I'm gonna just go with the story and then y'all know. So one day I was on the phone not doing my job as per usual, because everybody know I'm not finna overly do a job that don't need to be overly done, period. So I was just walking down the strip doing my job, checking on the stores or whatever, and my auntie had worked in one of the stores on the strip, so I usually would just go to her job, but I usually would go to my auntie's job and just sit until I got off. So in particular, this day I was walking past his store, and as I'm walking past, we caught each other's eye, but my eye was kind of like, why is he staring at me? And I think his eye was like, oh, that's the girl that I had a crush on for a long time. So I'm on the phone with my best friend, and I'm like, best friend, it's this boy looking at me. And I have no idea why he looking at me. Now, mind you, in my head, because I'm just me, I'm like, he looking at me, but it's a girl in front of him, so I know like, I done came up with like 6,792 scenarios in my head. Like, so I proceed to walk down to my auntie's store. So we in the store, and I guess that's the moment of pursuit that he had. So he ends up walking in the store, and I'm still on the phone with my best friend. I'm like, oh Lord, the boy that was just looking at me there came in the store. So y'all, my auntie's store, keep in mind, my auntie's store is a female's store. So he comes in the store, and he was like, do y'all got I think he asked for basketball shorts or something. And I'm just like, in my head, y'all know me, I'ma just answer anyway. I don't care who I'm talking to, but if the math ain't math, and I'ma say what I gotta say. So I was like, no. And mind you, I didn't even work there. My auntie couldn't even answer before I answered. So I'm like, no. So he was like, who was talking to you? So I'm looking, I'm like, oh, auntie, let me mind my business before I gotta snap on somebody's son. So he was like, yeah, do that. So I'm laughing, because it wasn't nothing like, it wasn't in a mean way, it was in a playful way. So I knew he was playing. So he was like, but since you talking, I got a question. So I'm like, what? So he was like, why you always checking on everybody else's store, but you never come check on our store? So in my head, I'm like, I really don't check on nobody's store, so I wouldn't even feel no type of way about me not checking on y'all store. So I'm like, well, at the time he had on a white shirt. Y'all, I remember this vividly. He had on a white muscle shirt. So I'm like, you got on a white muscle shirt, I'm assuming you got muscles so you can handle your store. So he was like, I said, but are you wearing that muscle shirt just for show, or you, yeah. So he was like, okay, but that's your job. I said, you don't know what my job is, sir. So we just going back and forth tongue wrestling. Y'all know I love me a good tongue wrestle. So I'm not paying no mind, so we just stopped. So he ended up leaving. So I'm laughing, I'm just chopping up my best friend. I'm like, girl, I cannot believe this boy just came in the store try me talking about some goddamn on basketball shorts in a woman's store. Boy, you know darn well they ain't had no darn basketball shorts in no darn girl store. So y'all, boom, 2 seconds later, I ain't gonna say 2 seconds because that's a little dramatic. 3 seconds later, he ended up calling my auntie's store, and he was like, can I speak to the security guard? First of all, how you even knew I was still there? So my auntie was like, Shant'e, the phone for you. So I'm like, the phone for me? So my heart dropped, because I thought it was my manager, because I thought, you know what I'm saying, somebody that snitched on your girl. So whole time it was him. So I was like, who is it? Before I grabbed the phone, she was like, the boy from the store. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I grabbed the phone, and I was like, thank you for calling Lucido Taco Bell. I remember this conversation vividly. Like, I remember this conversation vividly. So he was just like, yeah, I need some help at my store. So I'm like, you need help at your store, and instead of you calling 911, you call the unarmed security guard. Great. So he was cracking up. He like, yeah, I think I got it under control, but I just needed a little bit of assistance. So you know, when niggas be trying to flirt, it was kind of cute. So I gave him a little 2.2 for the effort, you know what I'm saying? So boom, we ended up hanging up. And I told my auntie, I said, auntie, if I come back, that means he was cheesy. If I don't come back, that means he got me, period. Because I'm just honest. So, and he was cute. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we go down there. Y'all, this one, it get real. This one, I'm on the phone with my best friend with eyes wide open. Because I'm like, this nigga know me and I don't know him. This a problem. So we walked down there and I walked in the store. So I'm like, yes, sir, how can I help you? So we walking around the store. So he was like, yeah, you used to stay in such and such. So I paused and I jerked my neck. I'm like, how you know that? So, you know, it's a local area. So I'm thinking, okay, everybody probably knew, you know, that's what side of town I'm from. So he was like, you used to get in and out of a gray Challenger and da 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 da. I'm like, oh no, baby. Baby know me and I don't know him. We got a problem. So my best friend like, how you know all of that? I was like, dang, I thought I did my research on people. Baby didn't look me up in the books for real. So he was like, oh no, I had a crush on you for a long time. So I'm like, that's a darn lie. So then he started mentioning my old job before the job I was at. I'm like, yeah, baby, it's something wrong with this picture, because why you know me and I don't know you. So my homeboy Tree, that the mutual friend that we got, worked at the same store he worked at. So I seen Tree and I'm like, Tree, how he know me? So then that's when Tree ended up telling me the backstory. Like, yeah, he always had a crush on you. Woo. He been telling me about you. So when he seen you, I knew who it was. So boom, bam, shabam, shabam. We literally, I want to say the same day, we literally had just clocked out. We both clocked out of work and we just literally sat there for, he clocked out at, I want to say 10. Really 9, but left the store at 10. And we talked from 10 to 3 in the morning. And we both had to go to work. Like, literally just sitting in the car, parking lot, pimping, talking. So, from that moment on, I was just like, okay, anybody that can grab me mentally, like, conversation mentally, I'm going to give a chance. Because that's hard. Like, y'all know me. First of all, I'm an overthinker. All that. If you can't keep up with the conversation, I'm not even going, yeah. And I was intrigued. I ain't gonna lie. You know, he was this little smooth little operator back then. I don't know about now, but he was a smooth little operator back then. So we sat there and we talked, we was chopping it up. So at that point, we just gradually started talking. We went on a date, we just started talking or whatever. Woo. So in particular, this day, we had an argument not too long ago about when I really had gotten pregnant. But you know your body. So at this point, I knew I was pregnant. So anyway, it was, I want to say it was November. Because even my doctors told me I was spot on about the last time I had a period. So it was November. I remember we was downtown and we had a great night that night. We had a great night that night, and things got a little wild, and y'all know what I mean, because I got kids on here that don't even know all of that. So things had got wild. So it ended up happening, but in my mind, I didn't think I was pregnant because I did have problems previously with getting pregnant, and my doctor told me that I couldn't get pregnant. So it was really a surprise to the both of us that I was actually pregnant, and I told him that. So in my head, I'm like, I know I'm not pregnant because I had complications with getting pregnant. Like, and in my head, I'm like, I don't want to tell him that I'm not pregnant because I know it's gonna break his heart. Now, mind you, I didn't even take a pregnancy test. I just knew that I wasn't pregnant. So in particularly this day, I ended up waking up. I never told nobody this but my best friend. I ended up waking up and something was just like, go take a pregnancy test. And I'm like, nah, like, ain't need no point. I'm not finna go waste no 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, $12 on no pregnancy test. And baby, on my own pregnancy test is negative. I know this. So something just kept saying, go take a pregnancy test. So I called my best friend. I was like, I just got an urge to take a pregnancy test. So I called him and I'm like, because we had already had it planned that we was gonna take a pregnancy test. I really was just trying to work up the courage to tell him that I knew I wasn't pregnant. Whole time I was pregnant. So I ended up calling him, and we were supposed to take it that, I want to say Friday, and it was a Wednesday morning. And I was like, go get a pregnancy test. So he was like, I'm like, go get a pregnancy test. So he's like, okay. Went, got a pregnancy test. We went to his job to take the test because I'm just like, we just all might as well be together. Y'all, walked in the bathroom. nervous. I don't know, baby. Y'all would have thought it was a test day. Y'all would have thought I was taking a CRCT. I was so nervous. I'm like, bruh. So walk in the bathroom, and we got the digital one, because at this point I don't even want the little P on the stick. I need to read that I'm pregnant or not pregnant. Child, about 3 minutes later, that thing said pregnant, baby. The tears started flowing, the heart started beating, legs was trembling. I was just like, bro, I just know this test lying. I just know this test is lying. Like, I just know this test is lying. I know this test lying. Wasn't lying. So it took me a minute to even confirm that I was pregnant, y'all. Why I didn't went to the doctor? I went to the hospital saying that I had stomach issues, because it's no way. Now I need the hospital to tell me Shant'e Black is pregnant. So boom, I go to the doctor and I'm like, yeah, I'm having stomach cramps or whatever. So they was like, when was the last time you had a period? So I'm like, November such and such. So the doctor leaves out the room, because I had, you know, when you take a pregnancy test at the day, you got urine in the cup to the doctor. So the doctor left out the room. She was like, well, I know why you're having stomach issues. So I'm like, why? Thinking my period late. She said, well, Miss Black, you're pregnant. And I was like, bro, it's no way I'm pregnant right now, y'all. Like, it was so crazy, because I was just in shock. I was taking pregnancy tests after pregnancy tests, because I'm just like, bruh, it's no way I'm pregnant. Like, I'm pregnant. And I think I was so in shock, because I always was the TT. Like, I was TT. I was TT forever. I always wanted a baby, but I didn't know it was gonna happen that soon. So I was just really shocked. So, and it sounded like the baby at the door. This handsome young fella right here. Say hi, YouTube. Say hi. This is my mini-me. Well, he actually looks like his dad, but you know, one day I'll get the credit. So that's how I ended up getting pregnant. Like, that was that. Me and his dad's relationship is still good. We're great. We're still like the bestest friends. Like, we really, honestly, I can say this, we really started off as friends for real, like in a genuine type. Well, let me lie. Let me back up from that lie. We did not start off as friends, baby. We knew what we want and we went right for it. But I'm just happy that he's a phenomenal dad. It was crazy, because I think it was easier for me to know that I know my baby's great. Like, I know he's gonna have a phenomenal dad, because before we did anything, we talked about family and stuff like that, and we had the exact same views. And it's crazy, because it reflects on us parenting now. Like, when I tell y'all, the relationship, like, a lot of people really say, like, all my people, all my friends, my families, people that don't even know us, they just be like, wow, like, for y'all to be so young, it's like y'all are phenomenal parents together, and y'all not even together. It's so crazy. So I don't know, that's just how I got pregnant. It was a story that a lot of people wanted to know. A lot of people was curious. It was just, I mean, hey, it was going to get out one way or another. So why not me tell the story instead of people telling lies or whatever the case may be, or assuming it's that and the third. So that's just that on that. That was a story time of how I got pregnant. I don't know why I didn't start off with that story time, so that way y'all can know the back history of what happened. But that's how I got pregnant. And that's just that. That's how we met. That's how I got pregnant. Junior's here. He's great. We're great parents. He has a great dad. He obviously has a phenomenal mom. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you guys want to see any more or anything else, make sure you leave a comment down below. Make sure you turn post notifications on so your phone can beat, buzz, vibrate, and do whatever it does when you're gonna post another video. I love you guys.